Yeah, hello everybody. Sorry for the abrupt end to the last video. Just had to go down and collect my groceries from the Tesco man who refused to enter our building and come up to our door and deliver. I'm very mindful of the coronavirus because my mum didn't die of it, but she passed away a couple of months ago, and I wasn't able to see her until 45 minutes before she died. So it's something I'm very aware of. But although all other delivery people, from Amazon to Argos, through to Uber, and all the Royal Mail, Parcel Force, they've been delivering throughout. We seem to have a problem with Tesco's, and as I say, no comment really. The individual doesn't wish to deliver, but and yet their site is advertised as a home delivery service when it should actually be a home delivery, unless the driver decides he doesn't fancy it, in which case he's going to either take the stuff back with him or leave it at the entrance, communal entrance. Um, Apparently it's in the terms and conditions, buried somewhere deep. I can't help feeling Tesco would be better off putting it before the customer makes his order. How many of us actually do read terms and conditions? In any case, I digress. Um, I'm still proceeding with the Newland Miniatures Jacobites. I've got probably about 30, 38 perhaps of the Newland miniatures to finish. That's British government troops and Jacobite troops. And then I've got cavalry, artillery and some other infantry. I suppose a total of maybe about 60 odd figures with the Lancer miniatures. I had to go to the Lancer miniatures, and very good they are too, because I was unable to get the cavalry and the artillery that I wanted from Newland Miniatures. As my previous video shows, which, as I say, I had to cut it short. I don't really know too much about editing, and I just speak to the camera, video what I'm going to video, and then post it. So I'm afraid mine have got a very rough and ready aspect to them, my postings. But yeah, I'm actually considering getting into the Italeri set. Doing the English and French knights, and I've always been quite delighted by the Italeri battle sets. To be honest, I quite like the idea of getting two opposing armies and a kind of castle, or a Rorke's Drift, or a North African fort with Foreign Legion and Arabs for the opposition. I just like that sort of all-inclusive box set feel. I think it's probably something to do with from the early days of being a child and getting a kind of Airfix similarly box set of a fort or a castle or a Fort Apache and opposing sides. So I'm very keen on those, and I'm going to try and make a go of those. The other thing that I was showing you, of course, was the Peter Dennis book, where you cut out the figures and make paper or card soldiers. From being initially 28mm, they're now doing they've now done this kind of H.G. Wells Little Wars 54mm set, which has got a lot of charm to it. I mean, I'm that they tell you should photocopy the book. I mean, certainly you wouldn't want to cut this book up It's too nice. But that's what I'm doing at the moment. I've been, as Ralph was talking about, paralysis in the hobby. I've not, because of all the things that have been going on, not least the kind of return to a certain degree of normality with this coronavirus. I've strangely been not able to concentrate too much on the hobby at the moment. I've enjoyed all your videos, Fraser's videos and Gary, World of Wargaming, and Ralph, of course, with his expanding Wild West town. Um, it's been very helpful to me, to be honest, not just from a hobby perspective, but certainly for peace of mind. I mean, it's great to look at you guys and what you're achieving, and also Gary Marksman Gaming. I very much like Gary's attitude and what he puts together. I mean, tremendous patience and tremendous skill. Really, only those who've ever tackled plastic figures in 1/72nd scale knows really what's involved in getting them to look as good as Gary's figures look. So good on you, mate. I've sliced through many a 1/72nd figure and just given up after trying to remove a ton of flash, and even the painting sometimes, the level of detail that's on them, seems to exceed greatly that of metal figures, and you've really got to put your nose to the grindstone to get anything out of these figures. You really have got to know what you're about. As I say, I mean, I'm going to get into a little bit of reading now, I think. Bought a book on Joan of Arc simply because I got the Joan of Arc Castle Siege set from Atalery. As I say, whenever I get some of these sort of figures, I have to get a little bit of background on them. Actually, a thing that I didn't mention during the previous video, I learned reading the Peter Dennis book on the cardboard soldiers to cut out that Stuart Asquith, who many of you will know, at least from his writings, from his books. I mean, I've been following Stuart's books for years, since I was at school. In fact, I picked up many of his books. He sadly died November the 3rd last year. I don't get War Games magazines anymore, so unfortunately I've only just learned of his death, in the same way pretty much as I learned of Terence Wise's death, another War Games writer who also contributed to Osprey titles, amongst being the medieval European armies, many more than I can remember actually. But yeah, poor old Stuart died last year, and that's another one of the great names from wargaming. As I say, I think most of us who are into this, any interest at all in wargaming model soldiers, will know of Stuart's work. And sadly, they're all, I don't know, 2020, 2019. Not great years. I do hope 2021 will get back to a certain amount of normality, and that we'll get to see each other at some of these shows. I don't know about Salute, Selwig, and a half a dozen other shows in between, but you hope it's going to be better than this year was. It can't be any worse, surely. Touch wood. But yeah, I just sort of do a follow-up video because the other one did end rather abruptly. And sorry about the rant against Tesco's. I'm sure it's a matter of perception, really. I just felt they could have been a little bit more upfront with their policy when everyone else appears to be returning to a certain degree of normality. But coronavirus, all about safety. I thought it might have been more to do with not wanting to carry a lot of shopping upstairs, but perhaps the guy did have legitimate concerns, and who am I to suggest otherwise? So yeah, you know, you got to go with it. I mean, I was a postman for 32 years, and while we didn't have coronavirus, you know, I did what I had to do. But you know, no criticism really. I just think it's, you know, a matter of attitude, and the company policy could be more upfront. You know, tell the people before you order, and then you know where you are. But anyway, um, there it is. But I hope you're all doing well, and I hope you continue producing videos. And you know, it means a lot. It really does. I mean, I'm sorry, my videos are. I make no pretense that they're even, you know, within shouting distance of any of the other guys. I mean, they're, you know, great videos, good subject matter, and focused, and mine are all certainly not the above. But anyway, as our friends in America say, it is what it is. And it's good speaking to you all. And as I say, let's look forward to a slightly more rosy 2021. Take care, everyone, and